carbon emissions is a big factor here, okay? With the new laws that are out there with carbon emissions and new federal standards, they need clean energy big time. And if they lose this plant, and they lose any more of the nuclear power plants in New York State, there's no way possible that they can comply with the carbon emission standards. So nuclear energy is 100% clean energy, and they understand that.
I can only imagine how frightened so many of you are here today. I would like to say that John Katko and I, and everyone here on the stage, is with you. At a very minimum, this plant should stay open and refuel for 8 more years. To cut you off overnight like this is wrong. It's wrong for the community. It's wrong for the company. And natural gas and energy may be cheap today, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. They have to remember that. So it's a difficult time. You're not alone. Everybody on this stage will do everything they can to help you, to fight for you. We understand the impact, the importance of this, and how catastrophic it would be, not just for this community, but all of upstate New York.
Looking out at the crowd here, it just once again, it approves the fact that when something happens in our region, we all band together. And to see so many people out here, whether it be your family, your friends, or your neighbors, just really amazing to have all of you here. And to just go along with what the earlier speaker said, I can't say anything else except for it's outrageous that New York State would import power when we have power here in Oswego County. We have jobs here in Oswego County. We have workers we need to protect. You know, over the past less than a week, we put up a petition, and we've got nearly 3,000 people to sign on. But what was really striking to me was to hear the personal stories from people who live here in Oswego County.
With the unanimity that we have with local business leaders, with the elected officials up here with me, and practically the whole community, we're sending a message today. We're sending a message to Albany, and we're going to send a message to Washington. And we're going to tell them, if you care about clean energy, you should care about the Fitzpatrick plant and help us keep that open. The last thing I want to say, we also want to send a message to Entergy. I know the company knows this, but we also want to say this community supports the plant. Work with us to help us keep this plant open.
I'm here today to tell the employees, contractors, unions, New York State, and finally, anyone that is affiliated with a nuclear power generation community, that the Oswego County Legislature supports nuclear power and the plants that exist on the shores of Lake Ontario. Woo! The legislature is 25 members strong, and yes, it's unique in many ways. And we may disagree on certain topics, but we do not disagree on the importance of nuclear power and the nuclear plants for Oswego County. This legislature is united in the fight to keep nuclear power generation here in Oswego County, and that means Fitz too. Let's go, come on. On a personal note, I have family members and very close friends that work in the nuclear power industry. Most of them work at Fitzpatrick. I realize and fear the hardships that the families could go through if they lose their jobs. We cannot let that happen. I will not, this legislature will not, and they will fight to make sure that that does not happen. So I want to say 3 things. Stay strong, stay tough, and stay united.
I want to share some facts with everyone, especially with our governor, so that everyone understands the full impact of this potential closing will have on our schools. Entergy's Fitzpatrick Nuclear Power Plant is 49% of our tax base. That means they provide $12.9 million out of a $54 million budget. I see some of you doing the math. And you're right. But it doesn't stop there. This closing will hit us in waves, and that's only the first wave. The second wave is people losing their jobs, families moving out, homes for sale, our students leaving and our student population declining, and then finally, home property values going down even further, which will impact us again and again and again. I grew up in Whitesboro. I have lived and worked in Niagara Falls, Buffalo, Rochester, and now Mexico. This story is all too familiar with upstate New Yorkers and has gone on for far too long.
We're located in a county that has the holy grail of reduced carbon emissions from the nuclear power generators currently operating here, a region that welcomes them. That is a major statement in times when it seems no one wants anything in their backyards, in their communities, no pipes, no wires, nothing. These generators epitomize the type of carbon reduction sought in the REV initiative, yet they stand threatened to operate without a fair carbon price. If New York State is sincere about targets to reduce carbon emissions, they must immediately calculate and provide existing generators a fair value for carbon before these critical resources, our jobs, and the tax revenues are gone forever.